required any dental work during your relationship with Mr. Depp, do you?
I don't know. I don't recall.
Makes me so
You don't
lucky.
recall
Sola
one way
and
or another
Gatma.
seeking dental care for any injuries you allegedly sustained?
The prime low.
You asked me about if I had produced records or if I had records. That's a different question.
Did you ever see a dentist or an oral surgeon as a
Yeah.
result of any injuries you sustained with Mr. Depp?
Not about any injury I had from Johnny, no.
And you don't have any medical records reflecting that you required any reconstructive work during your relationship with Mr. Depp, do you?
I never required reconstructive work, so there would be no records.
What you do have, Ms. Heard, are pictures of Mr. Depp sleeping, though, right? The jury saw a lot of those.
Yes.
He's the
So
prime
let's take a
Magic
look at
professor
Defendant's
in the
Exhibit
bits
1090,
Mastibo.
which
lot.
is already in evidence.
Let me give sub Emma.
You took this photograph, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct.
And you testified that this was taken in Tokyo in July of 2013, correct?
Yes.
So you decided to take a picture of Mr. Depp asleep on the floor?
He was passed out,
And the resub
and
Leodio.
Yes.
I took a picture.
Oh, what happened? Did stream cut out for a sec? We good? Oh, must have been a Twitch hiccup. Yeah, no, my internet didn't do anything. It must have just been a Twitch thing. It's all good? Okay.
Of him because he wouldn't remember. He claimed he
Thanks for
didn't
sub
pass out
Squidward.
that way. And sometimes
Grim.
security would carry him like a baby into bed, get him changed, and he would be none the wiser. So I started taking pictures of it so that he knew
Prime Tornado.
that it was real, that it had gotten this bad.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1091, which
There's
is
a
already in
Victor.
evidence.
And Colonel.
You took this picture as well.
Yes,
And this is a picture that was taken in the Bahamas, right?
it's one of them, yes.
And this is a picture of Mr. Depp taking a nap on his tropical island.
I believe he was on the nod, but as he would say.
Sleeping on the nod on his island.
They're very different, in my opinion. And
What?
yes, he is on the island.
On vacation.
We were on vacation, yes.
Let's also take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1092.
I
which
don't
is
get the
also in
point of
evidence.
that one. He's just actually sleeping. No drug related anything.
You
He's
also
just
took
sleeping.
this picture, right, Ms. Heard?
That's correct. I did.
And this is another picture of Mr. Depp asleep in a chair.
No, he was nodding off. Sleep is different. When you're nodding off, you're high on drugs. Didn't even feel the cigarette in his hand that had, been burning on his leg.
What are you?
Cause for alarm for me, naturally, because I cared about him.
Does she not nap? Is she like an android? I've fallen asleep a million times just like that. Granted, no cigarette, though I also don't see one in the picture either, to be fair. He's literally just been sleeping in a chair for the last two photos. That's it. God damn.
It's your testimony under oath that Mr. Depp is holding a cigarette in this picture?
He had been.
And what happened to it?
You seem to really like taking pictures of Mr. Depp while he's sleeping, don't you?
I hated it. I hated it.
Let's look at Defendant's Exhibit 1094, which is also in evidence.
Thanks to resub, E-Girl and Hoshiumi.
You took this picture of Mr. Depp as well, didn't you?
I did.
You decided to take a picture of Mr. Depp asleep with ice cream spilled all over him, right?
He was nodding off, and I was worried about how bad the medications and the medication change and the drug use had gotten, where he wouldn't even feel ice cream or a lit cigarette on him, and it scared me.
So you
Really?
took a picture
What
of
the
it.
fuck
Yeah.
does that mean? When you fall asleep and you spill something on yourself, you're not gonna like feel it either. He's wearing jeans. Just ran down his legs. I really feel like she should have just went a different angle. Like, yeah, he drank himself into a fucking coma that night. That I'd believe. But she's trying to spin it in a way like I cared so much, so I took a picture of ice cream running down his legs while he fell asleep. It makes no sense. I too have gotten drunk and spilled shit on myself while falling asleep. Shit happens.
I wanted him to get help, and Johnny's surrounded by enablers who clean up after him
Objection,
and protect
Your
him.
Honor. I'm going to move to strike everything after yes, that she took this picture.
Still responsive, Your Honor.
The question was, did you take this picture?
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. This isn't a very flattering picture of Mr. Depp, is it?
No, it's not.
You wouldn't agree that this is, or you would agree with me that this is an embarrassing scene, right?
Does it give some Hizashi?
Yes, I
Bishop
think
Chase.
it's a part of getting help, is looking at it, seeing it.
You sent this picture to one of your friends, didn't you?
I don't recall.
If we could please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 252. We'll only be looking at the portion of this document, so if we could please call it Defendant's Exhibit 252A.
252A.
And for ease, we've gone ahead and redacted it.
I mean, I wouldn't put this pic on my Instagram.
Yes, I was asking for support.
Yeah, but again, it's not the most like troubling or
Question, yeah.
disping photo. It's a man
So directing
sleeping
your
with ice
attention,
cream that's
I'm gonna
spilt
move to
on him.
admit, Exhibit 252A.
Any objection? Any objection, Ms. Frederick? Could you turn your microphone again? I'm sorry. Thank you.
I need to see it first because I
Okay.
don't know what they redacted.
252.
We redacted the identifiers and anything that's not misheard
Up or down on
text messages,
Is your
consistent with
hoodie?
hearsay.
I don't know, Dung. Couldn't tell you. Thanks for your sub jingle. The pictures, I'm not an expert. I'm not part of their legal teams, but I believe the pictures were to prove that Johnny Depp wasn't in control of himself sometimes due to substance abuse and alcohol. So these pictures are supposed to show him like the aftermath of a bender or something. But the only one you could even make an argument for is the one with ice cream on his leg. The other two is him just asleep in a chair in the Bahamas and asleep in the chair at his own home. And even the ice cream one, there's so much left for interpretation because it's just him sleeping and ice cream is on his leg. She could have put ice cream there and spilled it on him to make it look worse. Like anything could have happened. He could have literally just fallen asleep while eating ice cream. It doesn't really set that character profile like I think they wanted it to, so it's just a bit goofy. Wait to the cocaine picture. I saw that. I mean, obviously Johnny Depp voice crack was a druggie, is a druggie.
You remember we approached?
Okay.
I'm just saying these pictures don't really do a good job of showcasing anything she's trying to get them to do. Johnny claimed Amber handed him the ice cream as he was falling asleep. Oh. Well, there's no way of proving that one way or the other. Regardless, it's very weak for evidence. It's the prime. Binson. The Bits Fox. I know this is Johnny Depp's lawyer. It's to show Amber taking a bunch of useless pics of him, but 0 pics of her so-called wounds. Yeah, I know. And his lawyer's doing a great job of setting that up. Because for some reason Amber has 1,000 pictures of him sleeping, but only 2 of injuries. At least 2 that we've seen so far. And the injuries aren't consistent with her statements. One of them, she claims she was beat by Johnny Depp so many times in the face with his giant rings that she lost count of how many times she was punched, and the picture is a bruise on her arm. And the other one is the split lip one with the black eyes. So neither one of them are really consistent with her claims. Thanks to Prime Hevron and the resub, basically. Thanks for the gift sub, Lambo. You know it's not good when she hates the people trying to save her. That's another thing. I think 3 times now she has blamed her legal team for the absence of evidence she claims to have produced. And she got real dicey when she claimed the lawyers were the one that sent those pictures to People magazine during an active investigation or an active case, which would be a big no-no.
Sir, does this refresh your recollection that you did in fact send this picture to your friend Rocky Pennington?
Yes, I did.
Thanks for resub,
You
Speedy.
sent it to her
And Raw.
on August 7th, 2014 at 11:24 p.m., correct?
That is correct.
So you sent Miss Pennington this picture of Mr. Depp with ice cream spilled on him, right?
That is correct.
And you wrote, quote, "This is what I've been dealing with," end quote. Did I read that right?
You did read that right. That's correct.
And this is you protecting Mr. Depp.
That is me getting support from my best friend.
This is you supporting Mr. Depp.
This is me getting support from my best friend. I also need support.
You weren't afraid the monster would get upset that you took this picture?
This was Opiate Johnny. This is a different version of him. This is Opiate on the Nod Johnny.
And you weren't afraid that Opiate Johnny, or the monster as you called him, would get upset that you sent this picture to
Thanks
your
for 5
friend?
gift subs,
Well,
farted.
he's all of those things. Of course he could get upset.
resub.
Of course that's scary to me, of
Aratana.
course. But
Didn't stop you from sending this picture to your friend, did it?
why would it?
Mr. Depp's right hand is in his pocket, right, Miss Heard? In this
Yes,
picture?
that's correct.
You also showed this jury pictures of cocaine. Do you recall that?
Yes, that's correct.
Let's please take a look at one of those. If we could please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 167A, which is already in evidence.
Thanks for the Prime King C.
Directing your attention, Ms. Heard, to the photograph. This is a photograph you took in March of 2013, right?
That is correct.
And this was taken at your apartment in Orange.
Yes,
And this is your breakfast table.
that is correct.
And it's your testimony that Mr. Depp left this breakfast table just the way you took it.
That is correct.
So this is what the table looked like after Mr. Depp had been doing cocaine.
Well, clearly he has yet to snort these lines.
There are 4 lines of cocaine on this table, right, Ms. Heard?
In this picture, I see 4 lines.
There isn't any cocaine residue around those lines, right?
Not that I can tell, no.
Doesn't really look like anyone's been doing cocaine off that table, does it?
Oh, I see.
With all due respect, I'm not sure you know how that works.
She's claiming this was staged.
You do. You testified you've done cocaine.
I have.
Doesn't really look like Mr. Depp or anyone was doing cocaine off that table, does it?
I beg to differ with you on that. When you snort cocaine, typically it goes into your nose.
And there's
Doesn't stay on the
residue.
table.
There's residue from that cocaine when your lips and nose touch the table, right?
Well, the tampon applicator next to the driver's license that you see is a device that I believe my sister had taught him to use in order to put the cocaine in your nose.
Mr. Depp is a pretty heavy smoker, right?
He is.
Interesting
And
tactic.
that's a cigarette in the ashtray in the back there,
Um,
back right.
yes, it looks like one of his hand rolls.
There's no other cigarettes in that ashtray, are there?
I see one cigarette.
The one that's not smoked.
That's correct.
There's no ash in that ashtray either, is there?
Not that I can tell in this picture.
It's pretty clean.
In this picture, it looks like it, yes.
It's a pretty neat table. Wouldn't you agree?
Depends on what you would call neat, I suppose.
And you sent this picture to your friend, Rocky Pennington, as well, didn't you?
I sure did.
And when you sent it, you said,
Thanks, Resub
well,
Spaceman.
look at my morning.
The Resub
or something
dipshit
like
and
that.
blue,
Is that right?
blue roll.
Yay for mornings.
So you have a habit of sending staged photographs to your friend Rocky, don't you?
I had a habit of communicating with my best friend about what was going on in my life.
You don't have any pictures of Mr. Depp actually consuming cocaine, do you?
I don't think I have a picture of him mid-snort. No.
You don't even have any pictures of Mr. Depp with cocaine.
What do you mean by that?
Holding cocaine, standing next to cocaine, sitting next to cocaine.
I don't know.
Wow, this is an awfully bold line of questioning.
Pictures like that to the jury, have you?
So I wouldn't have chosen this approach. I'm pretty sure Johnny Depp knows his way around some cocaine, but it is a really good point to make since she took pictures of everything and went so far as to take them of him sleeping. She would have absolutely produced evidence of him near cocaine if he was truly like a monster snorting himself into deep comas and blazing disregard for human life. Pretty interesting tactic here. I would have never thought they'd try and pick apart this picture. But I'm not a lawyer. This is a pretty big brain.
I don't know. No, I haven't.
And you were never able to catch Mr. Depp with cocaine on film either, were you?
I never tried.
But you were able to catch him sleeping, right?
I have seen him pass out in all sorts of places, yes.
And you also captured a video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen that was played again for this jury today, beating up some cabinets. Do you recall that?
Thanks, Resub Onion.
Sorry, say that again.
Halpameme, Eric.
You recall
row
capturing
your
Mr.
boat.
Depp in the kitchen of one of his homes, beating up some cabinets?
Yes. Slamming things around, yes.
So you took that video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen, right?
I did.
And you took it on one of your iPad devices?
I took it on my iPad.
You were deposed in August of 2016 in connection with your divorce proceedings from Mr. Depp, right?
That is correct.
And you will recall that the video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen was released online the day before your deposition in August of 2016, don't you?
That's correct.
You're the one who released that video.
Incorrect.
Isn't that true?
That's incorrect. I flew in from another place at the time. I remember learning
Was it his
about it when
her
I-
lawyers again?
So it's just a coincidence that the video you took of Mr. Depp was released the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp.
I absolutely had nothing to do with that. I wouldn't even know how to do something like that.
Well, who did?
You settled your divorce from Mr. Depp in
Damn,
August
I
of
wanna know.
2016, right?
Son of a bitch. Could be anyone.
That sounds right.
And in connection with that settlement, you received $7 million from Mr. Depp, true?
That's
Oh,
correct.
this is the one. This is the one.
And then
6.8, exactly.
your settlement amount was $7 million.
That's correct.
Thanks to Tier 1 Teddy and Resub Leon.
And then you released a statement in which you claimed you would be donating the entire $7 million to charity, right?
That's correct.
You stated you would be donating half of the $7 million to the ACLU,
That's correct.
and you would be donating the other half to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
That is correct.
And you also stated, with respect to the $7 million divorce settlement, that money played no role except for the extent that you could donate the money to charity.
Yes, that's correct.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1251.
Oh, God. She has the receipts to prove she never donated. Oh, this is so painful. She tried so hard to look like a good person with the charity pledge.
This is an article entitled Amber Heard Donates Johnny Depp Divorce Settlement to Charity. Read her statement in full. Is that correct?
That's what the title says, yes.
Directing your attention to the portion on the second page where it says, quote, read the statement below. Is that the statement you released, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I move to admit the statement and the article as redacted.
Objection, hearsay.
It's her statement.
This is not her statement. This is some, this
She
is,
just testified, Your Honor,
said
that it's her
it's her
statement.
may I say the full,
Everything else is redacted.
Oh my god.
okay, then I have no objection.
All right, 1259 in evidence as redacted.
Fucking checkmated there, I guess.
The statement reads, as described in the restraining order and divorce settlement, money played no role for me personally and never has, except to the extent that I could donate it to charity, and in doing so, hopefully help those less able to defend themselves. As reported in the media, the amount received in the
Reese of Dr.
divorce was
Thick and
$7
Ferret.
million, and $7 million
Prime
is
sentient.
being donated. This is over and above any funds that I have given away in the past and will continue to give away in the future. Did I read that correctly?
That is correct. I don't remember that last line, but I have no, it doesn't stand out to me as wrong.
There's nothing inaccurate in the statement.
Not that I recognize, no.
Mr. Depp donated
Is it prime
$100,000 of the divorce settlement
not?
directly to the ACLU. Is that right?
Right at the beginning of the divorce settlement, he donated $100,000 to each charity on my behalf or towards my contribution
So $100,000
to each
to the ACLU.
and to the Children's Hospital.
And in response, you publicly demanded that Mr. Depp pay the divorce settlement directly to you instead of the charities, right?
That was always the agreement, actually, is for him to pay me directly. It was not his money as per the settlement agreement to give away and reap a tax benefit from. I said if he wants to do it and give to charity all of a sudden, then he should pay the correct amount and not try to get a big tax break for it. So effectively for his tax bracket, he should be paying double that amount to the charity directly. And if he wanted to pay the charity directly, he could. He could do that, was fine with me, but he would need to pay the adjusted amount.
Ultimately, the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement was paid directly to you, right?
Over time, yes.
And Mr. Depp didn't end up paying the rest of the $7 million divorce settlement directly to the charities you identified.
That is correct. He paid them installments to me.
You stopped that from happening, didn't you?
I don't understand what your question is. I'm sorry.
You just
Stopped Mr. Depp from paying the charities that you had named directly.
That is incorrect. I said if you want to pay the charities directly, pay the adjusted amount, or pay as per our agreement in the settlement or in the divorce, as per our agreement.
You also
And he
publicly
chose to do the former, not the latter. I mean, the other way around.
You also publicly stated that the $7 million divorce settlement should be paid to the charities immediately in full, right?
If he wanted to pay it in the way that he was suggesting, yes.
And you said publicly that the payments to the charities should not be drawn out over
I already-
years, right?
again, like I said, I already know how this part ends because I saw the cliff notes on Twitter since it was such a big deal. Fuck, this is painful. This is rough. This is an Amber Turd classic right here. This is the greatest hits.
I said that I don't recall the exact words that I used, but basically that he shouldn't use this as a novel interest in getting a tax break. That if he wanted to do that and not pay me the
I think you said
settlement,
Pokey,
that was fine.
Ghost
But he
Slap,
would
and
have to pay
Prime.
the adjusted amount
Easy.
and not make it, a commitment he would not fulfill or try to avoid in some other way.
And that's because you wanted the entire world to think that you were donating every penny of the $7 million divorce settlement as soon as you received it from Mr. Depp. Isn't that right?
No, I was going to be receiving it in installments, and I would be paying in installments the donations.
In fact, you released a statement in response to Mr. Depp's $100,000 donations to the ACLU and CHLA, didn't you?
I don't recall.
Let's see if we can refresh your recollection. If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1260.
God, that was just such a scary line. Refresh your recollection. So snappy.
This is an article entitled Amber Heard and Johnny Depp Row Over Divorce Donations. And if I could direct your attention to where it says, I believe it's on the second page, her spokeswoman responded in a statement. The language that follows the statement you released,
Objection, hearsay, spokeswoman, it's not her.
a spokesperson is an exception, Your Honor.
You want to come forward?
Damn, she's on a streak right now. Next is Tori from Tier 1 Kint. Suddenly she's very energetic and talkative. Yeah, because this is a rough one. I guess I won't spoil it if you don't know, but this is a sore spot for Miss Turd. In her efforts to look like a saint, she looks real fucking dumb. This is Irish. Yeah, I'll check it out later, Irish. Resub Quigster.
You released a statement
Your Honor,
through.
may we approach again?
Okay.
I'm begging you, Your Honor, please don't let her say this. God, anything but this. Don't let her do it. Oh my God, please. Amber's gonna beat my ass. Don't let her say this. Thanks to the bits Ballistic and the resub Lasagna and Bologna. And the Prime Doormat. Thanks to the resub Unblissful and the Prime Alyssa.
Before we ask the next question, I'll just hand you a copy of this one. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said.
Thanks to the resub Christopher and Tier 1 Irish. And the resub Tazzy.
Your Honor, would you like to see one as well?
No, that's all right. That's fine. Thank you.
And Tier 1 Tyler 1 and Prime Hot Tub. Not tonight, Chewy, but maybe later.
Could you please turn your microphone on? I'm
And the
sorry.
Prime Muzz.
Your Honor, they gave me a redacted, but I don't have the unredacted to be able to see the full
I
document.
plan to admit it, or ask that it be admitted in redacted form. I'm taking away any hearsay, and I'm just trying to lay the foundation that this is a statement she released through a spokesperson.
How would I know whether there's more to it that shouldn't be redacted, Your Honor, if I don't see the full document?
Thanks to the resub Ordominus, Colt, Zero, and the bits Solanda.
Your Honor, the witness can testify as to whether this is a full statement or not.
The witness can't do, we have the right to be able to see the document.
All right. Do you have a document that's not redacted?
We can pull it up on our computers.
Okay.
Just give us a moment, Your Honor.
All right.
I can represent this is the full statement that's reported.
Okay, give her an opportunity to look at the unredacted one.
Thank you.
I thought the Creator Clash was extremely fun. I thought it was definitely the best YouTuber internet personality boxing match. Everyone did really well. All the fights were really entertaining and the production was nuts. Ian and Anissa did something incredible with it. He's a Tier 1 Joey. My favorite fight was the Ryan McGee-Alex Ernst fight. I honestly thought Ryan wasn't going to make it out of there alive. That guy had so much heart. Ryan is a fucking legend. And he was delivering so many big shots to Alex, too. But I think probably the most impressive fighter was I Did a Thing and Michael Reeves. Those two were crazy. Man, this one piece of evidence here has got her whole legal team kind of shook. For good reason, obviously.
So, Your Honor, can we have a copy of this?
Yeah, you can get a copy of that
Happily.
later
Yes.
today. Okay?
Right,
All
I mean, I think she should be giving us copies of the full.
Well, I
thing
understand, but
before.
we'll take care of that.
Okay.
As of right now, Can we continue?
We can, Your Honor, but I have an objection because of, there's some quotation marks missing.
Okay, come forward.
Oh my god, Jesus, the stalling tactics, holy shit. As if a lack of a copy means we have to stop that right now. Oh. Thanks to the resub. Jorison. Exactly, Tori, and thanks to resub Poopy and Timbot. The 5 gift subs, Ghost. Thank you, Ghost. So I only read what happened on Twitter, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out in court here, because I'm expecting like audible gasps from like the jury and the crowd here once they drop the bombshell. Here's resub Dino, Phone, Paintman, and the Prime Voice.
All right.
Resub Nova. And Magic,
So
Chance,
directing your
and resub
attention, Ms.
JMac,
Heard,
Gigi,
where it
and
says
Wafu.
her spokeswoman responded in a
Geek.
statement.
Your
The
Honor,
language that follows.
Your Honor, again, she can't read it. She has to show it
The
to
language
her.
that follows.
Right. If you want to lay a
Is this-
foundation to that, go ahead.
You released a statement after Mr. Depp donated $100,000 to the ACLU and $100,000 to CHLA. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And the language that follows is the statement you released in response to Mr. Depp's donations, right?
I don't know if this is the official statement. I have no idea.
The statement that starts at
Objection, Your Honor.
Amber Heard. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Would you please read that to yourself, Ms. Heard?
Thanks to the Prime Novazy and the resub Jakey and Debo. Jesus Christ. The desperation.
Yes.
Did you read all the way to the very bottom where the last word is supported?
Yes.
Okay. That's a statement you released through your spokeswoman after Mr. Depp made the donations to the CHLA and the ACLU. Correct, Ms. Heard?
I do not recall exactly what my statement was. I don't disagree with anything in the statement, but I just simply don't recall what the statement was we released.
Is there anything inaccurate in that statement, Ms. Heard?
No.
Okay. I'm going to move to admit.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
I'll overrule the objection. 1260 and evidence.
Thanks to 5 gift subs Nova,
Thank you, Your
and the
Honor.
resub Hippie and Prime Phantom.
Statement reads, Amber Heard appreciates Johnny Depp's novel interest in supporting two of her favorite charities, the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union for Domestic Violence, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. This is great and unexpected news. And it continues. However, if Johnny wishes to change the settlement agreement, we must insist that he honor the full amount by donating $14 million to charity, which, after accounting for his tax deduction, is equal to his $7 million payment obligation to Amber. And it continues. We would also insist that the full amount be paid immediately and not drawn out over many years. Anything less would be a transparent attempt by Johnny's counsel, Laura Wasser and Patty Glazer, to reduce their client's true payment by half under the guise of newfound concern for charities that he has never previously supported, end quote.
Now drop it. Hit it. Hit it.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Thank you. After this, you kept commenting about the donation of your divorce settlement, right?
I don't know what you mean by that.
You
As you
spoke
said,
about
woo and
donating your
wraith.
divorce settlement on a Danish TV show, correct?
I believe I said I had.
And the resub Vanilla and Elder.
I believe I said I donated it to charity, but it was already printed or already commented on and stated in the press. I had already release that information in the press. I think I just confirmed it on that show.
You appeared on a show called RTL Late Night, right?
I don't recall what show it was.
If we could please play Plaintiff's Exhibit 346, which is a portion of your appearance on this program. And we would ask that it be moved into evidence and ask for
any
permission to
objection?
Your
publish
Honor,
it.
it contains, it has hearsay, it contains other communications with other individuals.
Your Honor, if we may approach
Okay.
very briefly.
Oh my god. Jesus, this is taking so much just to get to the big point that she wants to make. Because her Amber fucking Turd's lawyer is desperately trying every objection, every approach, and getting overruled at every step, but just drawing it out. Holy shit. Thanks to Tier 1 Cedric in the resub. Luz and Prime. Dick Big in Windy City. And Ruin in the resub Sin. In the resub Dead Meme. In the Prime Ashcan. So what's happening so far? She is setting the stage with this charity thing with the divorce settlement. Amber made a big song and dance about how the money needs to be donated to these two specific charities from Johnny Depp. Well, if he so chose to, but he needed to do it all in one lump sum instead of drawing it out over the course of installations, making it a big deal. Like, he has to do it right away. It should be done right away, otherwise it's not done correctly at all. Instead of being like paid out over time, and instead of allowing Johnny Depp to do that, she forced him to pay her money instead, so that way she would do it with the money. Basically, I think is where we're at right now. He's a Prime awesome man. In Tier 1, E-Dude. We haven't gotten to that point 18, but yes. We haven't gotten to the big meat of it, because her fucking lawyer keeps interrupting getting to that point, because she's had to set all of the groundwork here to show exactly what Amber Heard was claiming she wanted to do and would do, and what Johnny Depp had to do and should do, versus the reality of what happened. And it's just taking a long time to get there because Dr. Evil's lawyer over here keeps objecting everything unsuccessfully. He's the Prime Prevail, Liberty, and the resub Ethan. And the Prime Master Gamer. Objection, they're about to say something that will win the case.
So if we
Alright.
could please play and publish to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 346.
All right, 346 in evidence. Go.
And actually were all kinds of accusations flying your way when you said all this, and then there was a divorce.
Oh, do we not get to listen to that?
Money.
$7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
ACLU is a human rights organization.
Sorry, ACLU is a prominent organization, nonprofit organization in the United States. It's called the American
Right.
Civil Liberties Union, and they work on behalf of marginalized communities on the ground and in legislative reform.
Right.
And
Well, more power to you, because that's something that I've never
I
heard
wanted
of.
nothing.
That's a dagger. Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't actually seen this. I only got the cliff
October
notes.
2018, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't recall when it was.
It was in 2018, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't remember when this was done.
This was after you had received the full $7 million of your divorce settlement from Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
Again, without knowing when it was recorded, I have no idea.
That's such a... I'm going to take an approach here. That is the stupidest thing to say. It's a recorded television show, a very popular one, obviously. You can easily just look up when it was recorded. This is an awful defense, and it's not even a good stall because they obviously have the date that it aired. Jesus Christ.
The $7 million divorce settlement was paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
Let's take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1458, which is already in evidence.
Wait, what? Oh, what are you saying? F to Heard or the stream F? A small stream F? I don't know. It's not my internet. It's just got to be something with Twitch. I don't know what's going on. That's weird. Here, I'll rewind it just a little bit then. I don't know how long it was F'd.
Paid to you in full by February of 2018, right?
That's correct.
Twitch was
Take a look at
objecting.
Defendant's Exhibit 1458, which is already in evidence.
Thanks, Resub Poop,
This
Daniel,
is the
Answer Me,
deal
and Tier
point
1
memorandum
Radical.
from your divorce settlement,
Resub
right, Ms.
CJ.
Hurd?
Yes, that's what it looks like.
And if we go down to the bottom of page 4, there's a heading labeled equalization payment. Do you see that?
Yes.
And underneath,
What just happened? Did it just go to the left channel? What's going on? Oh. Easy Tier 1 Mike and Resub Nilu. And Blues.
so the first payment is scheduled for August 31st, 2016, and that's $200,000, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made that payment directly.
He's the 5 gift subs
You gotta
again,
turn on your
farted.
microphone, Ms. Berderhoff. I'm not gonna hear you.
Objection to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to. That was
Okay.
It's a actual. He literally testified to it in
All right,
court.
I'll overrule objection. Go
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Depp's accountant, Edward White, testified that he made the payment
Desperation.
directly to the ACLU and CHLA, correct?
I believe so.
Stop! What the fuck? Why does it
Were
keep
all
doing
made
that?
to you, weren't they?
That is correct.
And the final payment of $2.3 million is on February 1st, 2018, right?
The final payment, yes.
And you were here in court when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule.
I'm going to object to her testifying to what Mr. White testified to.
I'll
It's an
overrule the
improper.
objection. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What was the strategy there? It's the same
And
test.
you were here in
Oh
court
my god, she's dumb.
when Mr. White testified that the payments were all made on schedule, right?
I don't believe they were. He might have
That's
testified
not my
to that.
question, Ms. Hurd. My question was, you were here in court when Mr. White testified under oath that all the payments were made on schedule.
I was here every day in court. I heard his testimony, yes.
Okay. So back to October of
These
2018.
Prime Gold and
This was
Vindex.
before Mr. Depp sued you
Resub
for
Liquid.
defamation, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
He didn't sue you until after the op-ed came out in December of 2018, right?
He sued me in 2019.
And the op-ed came out in December of 2018.
That is correct.
So in October of
Resub Carlson and
2018,
Pug
you
Life.
had received your entire $7 million divorce settlement. You would
That-
agree with me.
That is correct.
And you hadn't yet been sued by Mr. Depp.
This is October, correct.
So in this October 2018
Oh.
interview, you said that you had, quote, donated, end quote, your entire divorce settlement to charity, right?
That's correct.
And in fact, your exact words were,
Oh.
quote, $7 million in total was donated to, I split it between the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, end quote, right?
That's correct. I made that statement as soon as I got a divorce and we reached the settlement. That's when I pledged it, right then.
And you say this because you, quote, wanted nothing, end quote.
That is correct.
But you hadn't donated your entire $7 million settlement to charity at that point, had you?
That's incorrect.
Sitting here today, Ms. Hurd, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce
No.
settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety
No,
of the
Ms. Hurd,
settlement,
that's
$7
not
million
my
to
question.
charity, and I
Ms. Hurd,
intend to
Ms.
fulfill
Hurd,
those obligations.
Ms. Hurd,
Oh, she knows. Okay, she knows. She knows.
please.
She's now saying
Try to answer
pledged.
my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million.
Look at the movement now from the
donated-
audience.
Not pledged, donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity.
I use pledge and donation synonymous. with one another. They
But
do
I
the same
don't.
thing.
Ms. Heard,
No one does. It's
I don't
terrible.
use it
That's a terrible
synonymously.
defense.
That's how donations are paid.
Ms. Heard, respectfully, that's not my question. As of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the ACLU. Yes or no?
I have not yet.
And as of today, you have not paid $3.5 million of your own money to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, correct?
I have not yet. Johnny sued me.
So as of today,
Doesn't
you have not
matter.
donated,
It doesn't matter.
paid $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
And that's because you did want something, didn't you?
I didn't want anything, and I didn't get anything.
You wanted Mr. Depp's money.
Didn't get it. Wasn't interested in it. I loved Johnny. That's why I was with him.
You wanted praise for donating the money, right?
Oh, this is like right out of a
That's
movie.
incorrect.
Holy shit.
You wanted good press.
In general, one does want good press, yes.
You wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name, and at the time, I was being called a liar.
Right?
Oh, this is like right out of a
That's
movie.
incorrect.
Holy shit.
You wanted good press.
In general, one does want good press, yes.
You wanted to seem altruistic publicly.
Wasn't my interest. My interest is in my name and clearing my name, and at the time, I was being called a liar, and my motives were being questioned. I did
then you
see
lied
it as
again.
important to clear that up. I wanted to make a statement to make sure that there was not any doubt that I couldn't be labeled these things just because Johnny was a bigger star and had more publicity reach.
Is he tier
You
2
wanted to
bear and
remind
tier 1
everyone
raccoon?
of your claims of
then we
domestic
said
violence
Fritos.
against Mr. Depp, right?
No, I wanted to move on with my life.
You wanted to make those claims seem believable.
They are believable. They were
You wanted
believable.
them to be seen, you wanted to be seen, as a noble victim of domestic violence,
I
didn't
have
you?
never wanted to be seen as a victim. Nor have I
You-
ever called myself one.
You testified under oath that, quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote, didn't you?
That's correct. I pledged the entirety.
No. Ms. Heard, my questions. Your counsel will have time to redirect you after.
Fuck, this is such a slap
You
down.
testified under oath.
Jesus.
Quote, the entirety of your divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote.
That is correct. I pledged the entirety.
I'm going to move to strike everything after yes.
All right.
No.
N-
Ms. Hurt,
I
this is
did-
really inappropriate.
I'll sustain the objection, and we'll just move forward.
Thank you.
Let's move forward. Next question.
Under
Jeez.
oath, that
Oh,
statement wasn't
God.
true, was it, Ms. Hurd?
I'm sorry, I don't follow your question. Sorry.
You testified under oath, quote, the entirety of my divorce settlement was donated to charity, end quote. That statement wasn't true.
It is true. I pledged the entirety to charity.
The statement.
When you say you buy a house, you don't pay
Ms.
for the
Hurd,
entire house
Ms. Hurd,
at one time.
respectfully,
You pay it
I'm
over
not
time.
asking, Ms. Hurd.
All right, next question.
Well, okay, I'm coming in with my own here. Even if that is the case and she wants to use that line, it completely goes against everything she set up in her other statement where she told Johnny he's not allowed to do that because it's not by the rules. She wouldn't allow it. So now she's now backpedaling into that same line of thinking where it's like, oh, actually, I plan to do it in overtime installments, which is exactly what she forbid Johnny from doing in the first place. So nothing she's saying even fucking works.
Thank you. That statement isn't true today, as you sit here today, is it?
It is true. I pledged the entirety.
But you
to
didn't
charity.
donate it.
Unfortunately,
You didn't donate it. It's a yes or no.
I haven't been able to to fulfill those
So that's a no,
obligations.
right, Ms. Hurd?
I made the pledge. I want to be very clear. I pledged the entirety. I haven't been able to fulfill those pledges because I've been sued.
You had all of the $7 million for 13 months before Mr. Depp sued you, and you chose not to pay it to the charities you pledged it to. Is that correct, Ms.
I
Hurd?
disagree with your characterization of that.
I disagree with the facts. It makes me look
Your
bad, so
sworn
I object.
testimony from the UK.
fuck? That's such a bombshell. Completely pokes holes in everything that she says because it ruins her credibility. Which is why it's such an important
All right,
piece.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks to the Resub Ogre and the Prime Jetiology and the Resub King
Ms. Vasquez,
Cocus
do you
and
want me to
Paintball
Close the
and
shades.
Agadina.
Okay. There's this light coming across. And
So I appreciate that.
Has to be a
It's
little
probably
more
good light. Thank you, Your Honor.
all right.
Thanks to Resub Architect and the Prime Bang and Treborlo.
This is your third witness statement that you submitted in the UK action, right, Ms. Heard?
Correct.
And this statement was made under oath, true?
That is true.
I'm directing your attention to the last page of that statement. That's your signature, right?
Yes, it is.
So you made this sworn statement on February 26, 2020.
That's correct.
And directing your attention to
Thanks
paragraph
to Gifts of
4.
NVIDIA.
It says, quote, I remained financially independent from him the whole time we were together, and the entire amount of my divorce settlement was donated to charity.
Oh, there's more.
That is correct.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Ugh.
The him you were referring to is Mr. Depp.
That is correct.
Oh.
Most of the money that was donated to the ACLU and CHLA in your name came from someone else. Isn't that right?
I don't know what you mean by most of.
Well, at least $500,000 that was donated to the ACLU in your name wasn't paid by you, right?
I believe Elon made a donation in my honor on one of the years.
Yeah, and it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement, right?
No, nor did it count towards my pledge.
And at least $500,000 that was donated to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in your name wasn't paid by you either.
But those were made at the same time.
And it didn't come out of your $7 million divorce settlement.
Nor did it count to my 3.5 obligation.
Those $500,000 payments came from your new boyfriend, Elon Musk, right?
I don't know if he was a new boyfriend at the time.
Irrelevant, but all right.
You got him to pay part of what you promised to these two charities, didn't you?
Incorrect.
Oh,
Because you
that's
wanted
such
to
a
keep
brutal
some
line of
of the
questioning.
$7 million divorce settlement for yourself, right?
I'm very wrong about that.
I think this, if Your Honor's
Okay, you
fine,
said
this is a good
it's
stopping
breaking
point.
point. Okay, that's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll stop here for the evening. Remember tonight, do not do any outside research and do not discuss the case with anybody. I know these days are a little longer, and I appreciate your patience and your taking care of everything here. Please take care of yourself tonight, okay? And we'll see you in the morning at 9 a.m.
God, what a fucking beat down. Well, Johnny Depp's lawyer's wild. She's really good. Meanwhile, Amber Turd has like a geriatric senile lawyer. She didn't get a successful objection a single time in the entire hour and 55 minutes. And she tried so often. That is... I can see why she keeps throwing her legal team under the bus. Damn near getting them disbarred on the spot by claiming that they sent the photos to the fucking People magazine during an active investigation. I can see why she's so upset and salty about it. They are trash. God damn. Thanks to the Resub Phantom and the Bits Advance and the Gift Sub Gazelle. Wow. Well, that was pretty fucking intense. That was a lot more intense than I thought it would be. I didn't think they'd go so hard. Nor did I think there'd be some kind of like new evidence in here that we hadn't already at least heard of. But apparently that entire charity thing was just a goddamn lie from Amber. Which is so weird. Why even bother making that pledge when you're never going to fulfill it? She had it for 13 months and never donated a single penny from the divorce settlement, even after claiming twice she already donated all of her money publicly. And then desperately trying to say that she views pledged and donated the same. Thus, she didn't lie when she said she donated all of it. Thanks the resub Ghostly and the tier 1 Zilly and the bits Dow. Yeah, that was expertly done by Johnny Depp's squad. And even somehow James Corden and Elon Musk came into this. This was a wild, action-packed day in court. Thanks the resub. Dentorius. What are the Amber Heard zombies saying in her defense about the charity thing? Because I can't imagine anyone would be like, oh no, that's totally reasonable. I obviously knew she meant that she had only pledged her whole divorce settlement when she told me she donated all of it. Watch the end. Oh, is it not over? I assumed it'd just be them walking out.
All right. And again, Ms. Hurd, since you're still on the witness stand, please do not discuss your testimony with anybody, to include your attorneys, okay? All right, 9 o'clock tomorrow then? All right, we'll see you at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
All right.
There's a post-credit scene. Oh, okay. Johnny Depp's lawyer gets recruited to the Avengers. Thanks to Prime Danny and Imperial and the resub baloney. Oh. They're cheering Johnny on as he leaves. Meanwhile, Amber Heard gets nothing but crickets. Oh, it's so fucking adorable. They literally wave him off, giving him a standing O on the way out. Nice. Wow, okay. That's pretty fucking cool, I guess. Jesus Christ. Fuck me, man. That was so wild. That was so wild. Thanks to Prime, Rinalod, and the Bits Raccoon and Tan and the resub.